Thank you, sir. Sir, mute. Okay.
Good morning to everybody, and especially the expert speaker, Dr. Patel sir, and who is principal scientist, Animal Experimentation Station in IVRI, Bangalore. I welcome all the delegates and who are participating in this particular webinar. So this webinar has coined based on the real requirement of the today's any livestock industry. So as we all know that the livestock has emerged as a very, very, very important what do you call criteria for entire Indian population, because say the poultry and as well as the dairy, which really support the lives, many lives of our Indian population. And one more thing, we have a very good revolutionary production both in the dairy as well as the poultry. Of course, the other things also there. But the raw product, the generation is being changed, and now we need to convert or give some value addition so that which can be used in a different way, and then so that the population can feel the real requirement of this particular livestock and the dairy livestock. So in this aspect, this webinar on entrepreneurial opportunities in the livestock section is really important and very, very well planned for this particular season. And in this thing, I would like to say that we have one AP Poshan Incubation Center here at RAR Tirupati, wherein we used to meet many innovative people. Majority of them, they are working on this entrepreneurial, what do you call, for this supporting the dairy and as well as the poultry. So this shows the people are working, and definitely the innovative ideas will be welcomed in this particular thing. How best we can make it as an enterprise instead of just selling the milk as it is. So how best we can convert this into the value-added product and then give us some better price for our farmers. So this is the main motto of this particular this thing. I am really very glad to be here and then give an introductory remarks like this. And I thank all my university as well as the Bala Hussain Reddy, who is really conducting this. And I really welcome the expert Patel sir, Dr. Patel, who is having a very rich experience in this particular what you call field. And he will deliver his lecture, and I hope all will enjoy and all will get benefit out of this particular webinar. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I thank my university and as well as my colleagues, the Bala Hussain Reddy, and sir, I welcome Patel sir. You please take on your this thing. I think Bala will give some introductory remarks on that on expert. And thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So before going to the giving the speaker to start the session, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce Dr. B.H.M. Patel, sir, who is the renowned expert in the sector of animal husbandry. Sir is presently working as a principal scientist LPM, Livestock Production Management, and in charge of Animal Experimental Station at Indian Veterinary Research Institute, Bangalore. So he has been associated with research and postgraduate teaching in the area of livestock production and management at Pantnagar and IVRA Ijatnagar for more than 20 years. Sir has guided 6 postgraduate students and 3 PhD students, and he also served as in charge of horse unit piggery farm for more than 6 years, sir, Pantnagar. He also served as in charge of sheep and goat farm, calf section and swine production farm more than 5 years at IVRA. He worked for the development, characterization and breed registration of Rohil Kandi goat and Gurra pig at IVRA Jetnagar. And he was also associated with the 13 research projects at national and international importance in livestock production and management. Sir has a wide experience on different aspects, mainly on livestock management as well as livestock enterprises, which is actually very essential. And we think that he is the right person to deliver the lecture on the entrepreneurial opportunities in this livestock sector. To his credit, he has published 87 research papers in national and international journals and authored 3 books in veterinary and animal husbandry sector and contributed 8 chapters in different books. And he also acted as a co-convener and co-organizing secretary in 2 workshops and 1 seminar. And he has been actively involved in extension activities like Kisan Mela and Dog Show by becoming member and chairman of different committees. Sir has been awarded with the best teacher twice, then Young Scientist Award and Jawaharlal Nehru Award, and 1 patent also. Really, sir, your vast experience and contributions will really help the participants to enlighten them on the entrepreneurial opportunities in the livestock sector. And really, the participants, especially those who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, they can use the expertise of the sir and then gain some knowledge that can enhance actually to some of your innovative thoughts also, because it's not only the institutions or the research stations that give contributions to the society, but there are so many people who are having innovative ideas, and to support them only, there are agri-business incubator established across the country. 29 centers are there. And for the state of Andhra Pradesh, this Acharya Engineering Agriculture University is implementing this project at Tirupati. So we support agriculture as well as the allied sectors also, animal husbandry, dairy, sericulture, aquaculture. Any people, any person with innovative thoughts, they can reach us. And then we support them by mentoring as well as giving the financial support also. 2 programs, 5 lakhs, 1 support, and then the other one is 25 lakhs. So as a part of this scheme, which is implemented under RKV or Raftar of Ministry of Agriculture, we are also organizing this type of webinars, and we are very much glad to have the expert person like Patel sir today. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our request and then giving the lecture, delivering the lecture today. Now it is over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for nice introduction, sir. Just I will project, sir. Let me see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
Our slides are moving, sir.
Yes, sir. It is visible. Yes, sir. Slide is moving.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Just my mouse is not.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So good morning to all of you. Thanks for nice introduction, sir. So today I will be discussing on entrepreneurial opportunities in the livestock sector, which is very broad topic actually. However, I'll try to give glimpses on every aspect of livestock sector, excluding this poultry. So without going in detail, just I would like to give two terminologies. One is entrepreneurship and an entrepreneur. So you all know that the country like India, where predominantly all this livestock sector is being supervised by the farmers, directly or indirectly is already entrepreneur. There is no doubt about it. Only issue is that there is no accountability. So to say that he is an entrepreneur, he should be willing to take risk actually. Otherwise, what happens in the rural area, every person is involved in one or other business in the form of livestock rearing or agriculture, whatever it may be. Only thing, he does not want to take risk and he does not want to keep any record actually. Otherwise, in every sense, he is a businessman. He also knows how much to pay, put his input, what risks should be taken. So these are all already knows it. Only thing is that there is no accountability. When you say entrepreneurship, it is an activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking on the financial risk in the hope of profit. This is what we actually, by definition, we say it. However, in the rural area, you do borrow money, you do livestock rearing, you also know what is the rearing, but in the end, if you ask him, what is your cost benefit ratio, is not in a position to tell. That is the only difference. Okay. When really works, many things will not take into consideration, like his own labor, okay, his own efforts, his own money, which he has put in the any sector, whether it is for that matter, agriculture or the livestock, whatever it may be, he does not take into consideration. But in the true sense, if he's an entrepreneur, every effort, every single paisa has to be kept in record. At the end of the day, he should make that what was his input, whether it's from his side or the borrowed one or hired one. And end of the day, what was the benefit or profit? Okay, so that is the true sense in an entrepreneur. So today, if you think in Indian conditions, already we have been involved with a conventional method of farming system, the mixed farming, wherein we keep livestock along with the agriculture, diversified farm. Within the livestock, we try to maintain too many species. So these are already ongoing activities. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, so you cannot take too many activities together. In the true sense, any business, if you say, okay, it should be very unique. It should be very, what you can say, precise, okay, and it should be accountable. So that's why that what we call as a specialized farming is nothing but a type of a business, okay. When you say specialized farming, you are targeting only one species or one business. Either you can say that I'm rearing a cattle, you can say that I'm making a product, you can say that I'm making a milk, meat products, okay, anything, but it is a single sector. Within the dairy, suppose if you think that you have got your own business like dairy enterprise, additionally, you're also making some products over and above. Okay. Then there are the two independent business. Need not club together. If you club together, then it becomes mess up. Okay. So what I mean to say is that any business as a business, it should be very precise, very clear. If you combine, then it may not give you a typical business look. If you see the domain of any entrepreneurship, okay, so it should involve all these points. Okay. First, it should belong to your culture. Suppose piggery farm, if it is not suitable to your culture, need not do it. It's meaningless to do any business. Okay. Similarly, if you don't have any labor sufficiently, then don't do any activities which are labor intensive. Okay. If you don't have a typical financial background where you need lot of investment, then don't do that. Means you have to see that what is your background, what is your culture, what is the supporting system, what policy demands, what is the market-driven item. Okay. So all points you have to take into consideration. Either you go from the top down, from top, like there is a demand for some particular product, milk or milk product. Okay. It can be a functional milk product like probiotic milk. Okay. It can be a low cholesterol ghee. Okay. Anything top down approach. There is a demand in the market. So you are going in the reverse mode. So for which, what are the things I need to start a business? Or else you have a strong backup that your culture supports dairy farming, your culture supports piggery farming. Then start from the bottom, then come into the market, open domain. Then make your own brand, you make your own trademark, make sure that your quality is maintained in the market, and then flourish in the market. Either you top down or down approach. Either one of the things you should take into consideration as and when you plan to start a business. Okay, so that's why these points, if you miss it, then automatically the whole business will become failure. Then end of the day, you think that this is not suitable to me, or this business is not suitable. See, the true sense, if you see, irrespective of the sector, okay, whoever has harvested the need based, okay, only is a successful. Okay, so if you're trying to touch upon those areas where already it's a repetitive, so then you may not be attractive in the market, or you may not succeed in the market. Okay, so now let us come to the actual topic. When you say livestock sector, so if you see the survey, okay, 2012 to 2010, so by and large, almost all the sectors have increased from the population at 2012 in 2019. That is the latest survey. If you see, barring the pig, it is considered as a reduction in the population. The reason could be many things. People say that there is a lot of demand, that's why too much of animals are being slaughtered, so that's why decrement. So such a demand, it's not being met by the form of production systems. Otherwise, cattle, buffalo, goat, sheep, and poultry, if you say, every population, every species is increasing from 2012 to 19 until date. Okay, and what is our strength? Basically, we start in the milk, first in the milk production, no doubt. Okay, but still we are missing the quality product, quality milk, branded milks. Okay, so still during the lean period, there is a lot of adulteration in the milk because they are not able to meet the demand which is there in the lean period, like summer season. The demand is too much, but there is a decrement in the milk production at every level. Okay, from the farmer level, from the district level, from the state level, everywhere. So there will be possibility of adulteration. Okay, so similarly, if you take chicken, it's fourth. Okay, in egg, it's the third. In meat, it's the fifth production. It is our strength actually. And also to the agriculture, we are contributing 30%. Okay, gross value added is 30% to the agriculture, and altogether livestock to the nation, it is 6.1%. So keeping this contribution view, even today there is a separate ministry on animal husbandry and fisheries. Earlier it was not, it was a part of agriculture ministry. Now there is an independent ministry under this BJP government. Okay, so this clearly indicates that there is really potential, there is a really scope for enlargement of our livestock business in the country. Okay, only thing is that where is the critical gap? You have to identify and you have to harvest. Otherwise, in every sense, still we are in the safe situation. Now for today's topic, so I have divided my topic into 5 categories. One is livestock businesses related to animal rearing or animal farming. Means I mean to say it's only a rearing of live animal. Second is animal nutrition, anything related to feed industry. Third is animal products or produce, value-added products. Instead of selling a fresh milk, you are going to make some products. Okay. Similarly, the implements in order to reduce the drudgery, in order to address the labor problem, which is an important issue nowadays. So we made some mechanization, semi-mechanization, for which we need a lot of equipments, need-based, not like European countries or American countries where there is fully mechanized, which is not practically feasible in a country like India. Okay, but we need to have some of the implements which are semi-mechanized or modified, okay, which are suitable to the Indian conditions. That part also I'm going to address. And the last one is service sector. Okay, so due to stringent rules and regulation with respect to sale and purchase, to avoid unnecessary problem in the interstate border, okay, between the two countries in the South Asian border. Okay, so government has made lot of restriction. Okay? So in this also, we don't have any registered person, okay, who can sell the animal, who can purchase the animals, or who can negotiate the animals. Similarly, when you transport animal like buffalo, Sahiwal from Gujarat, buffalo from the Punjab to the southern part, we don't have a very standard transportation system. So in a crude method, we have been transporting the similar way we are doing till date also. So there is a missing gap here also. So already few people have jumped into this business also, but certainly those who are already in the transportation sector can harvest this one also. So I divided my topic today into these 5 categories. I will take up one after another. The first one is entrepreneurship opportunity related to animal rearing. So out of which I've taken goat sheep farming, dairy farming, pig farming, rabbit farming, rearing of male buffalo cows for the meat purpose, and also laboratory animal rearing by the farmers. Here I mean to say by farmers. Okay. But I am not covering the poultry sector because already it has taken a full industrial mode. I need not discuss or need not venture it as a separate business. Already it is a well established and it is considered as a small industry only. Okay. But however, in other parts, still it has not taken fully a industrial look. So that's why I'm going to cover only these 4 species. So next question comes, which entrepreneurship suits to me? Okay, this is a very important question to any person who is going to start. Okay, probably among the participants, maybe if you are educated farmers, okay, they have come up from the village background, but they have grown well after proper education. Probably they may be already in the good business, but still they want to jump into the livestock industry. There are some people who have got an innovative idea, but they don't have money. Okay, there are some people who have got a money, but they are confused which business is suitable to me. So certainly this question is going to arise. Most of the times what happens by hearing here and there, they try to jump into some of the livestock industries. Then later stage, they repent. That should not happen. Okay, I mean to say that which entrepreneur suits to me should be the first question. Okay, so in that case, it should be suitable to you, means it should be a passion to you. There should be a liking for a particular sector. There should be interest also. Sometimes passion means there is no end. Certainly you will dive into that. But you have a liking. Liking means it's a superficial interest. Okay. So wherein you are in dilemma, whether to go into that or not. So for which you need proper training. Okay. Interest means you already understood the pros and cons of a particular business, but you are a little confused where you need a push. Okay. So that you can jump into the business. Okay. Next, what is your background? Whether you have a immobile property, you have got a good land. Okay. So now you want to utilize it. Sometimes it may be arable land. Sometimes it may be a simply dry land without water. Okay. Where you want to do something. Sometimes you can lease the land and also you want to jump into the industries. Okay. This is also impossible. Knowledge. Many people have studied in the YouTube. They've taken the training. Okay. They're exposed to a lot of seminars, webinars. Okay. They've got good information, but somewhere they're not able to start. Okay. So that also you should keep it to money, margin money. So this is very, very important. Many of the livestock business, okay, all the time we need money. It's not that today you started with a loan with 15% margin money, and at one of in between the business, you may need little more. You are not taken into consideration, but you cannot ignore it. It is not like any machinery where you can stop for 3 months. After borrowing money, again, you can restart. It is not like that. It is most of the activities are irreversible. Okay. So that's why you should keep that risk analysis into consideration. Then whether you need revenue on regular basis or periodic basis. This should also keep it in mind. Like if you take piggery, if you start today, your revenue will start after 9 months, 10 months. But dairy, it is a daily milk production. Okay. So you are getting something out of your dairy farm. So what do you want basically? Okay, so that also should. So your choosing of any internship should be based on your background. Next, let us take one particular sector, that is goat and sheep farming. Okay. See, we have been telling, if you tell about something about goat, people tell that goat has got so much of advantages about piggery, so much advantages about cattle, so much about sheep farming. Okay. When you talk about sheep, we tell that it's so much advantages over the goat, cattle. See, it is not like that. It's always a relative terminology. Okay. You cannot make each business as a profitable or not profitable. It is always relative. Okay. Suppose if you take a goat, okay. So certainly we all know that the demand for Chevan is very, very high. And similarly, you know that goat can be reared any part of India. However, you should make sure that the goat farm which you are going to establish, what is the purpose? Whether it is a meat, whether it is a milk, or you want both. That also you should decide it. Okay. Similarly, if you take sheep, whether exclusively for meat purpose, or you want to have a farming system only seasonally. Suppose if you take goat, people, they well plan for the Eid and Bakrid. Okay. Rest of the time, they don't have any headache. Okay. So rest of the times, they want to be busy with some other business. So like that, you should see that. And what is the land availability? Because dairy farm means you can tie the animal 24/7 and every input you can give in front of the animals, but which is not really successful in case of sheep and goat. Though you can make them to live on stall feeding. Stall feeding means everything you put in front of the animals are okay. But if you calculate the amount which you incurred on the input, and at the end of the day, after fully it's what you can say starter age, right? It is not going to be profitable, because these animals are gregarious, means they need some time to walk around. Even though animal may be live, healthy, okay, but that FCR, feed conversion ratio, will not going to work out. I mean to say that these sheep and goat, if at all, if you want to establish, then you need to have a little more land. Okay, so that you can leave them, you can let loose them, you can allow them to go for the grazing for 2 hours, 3, at least that much land should be there. Okay, stall feeding means it is successful only we have a sufficient green fodder, the two in your own farm, if you're able to rear it, or if you're able to cultivate, grow it, then only. If you are keeping the animals in the stall, and if you're purchasing from outside everything, concentrate, green fodder, dry fodder, and if you're offering to the animals, it is not going to be profitable. No way it is going to be profitable. Okay, so that's why the land availability is very, very important. Okay, second is suitability. Suppose if you bring Siroi, which is predominant in the what you can say UP belt, Madhya Pradesh belt. Okay, the same animal if you bring here, certainly you can rear it, but the gain which you get there, you will not get it here, because that animal needs even wet also. Wet, but here everything is south. If you go, it's a dry climate. Okay, so that's why the yield will not be so high as it is seen in the native tract. Similarly, if you take Murrah buffalo, okay, the same example, best example, the same buffalo which is high yielding, if you bring it here, it may not be the same yielding. Okay, so that also you should keep it in the mind. Input availability, already I told you. Revenue expectation, whether you want a regular basis or the periodic basis or annual basis, that also you should keep it in your mind. See, these are the conventional method of rearing sheep and goat. Okay, the same thing if you upgrade, okay, and if you take it as in the form of business, that is more suitable rather than jumping everything into a pakka construction. Means you have built up a house for the sheep and goat where you incurred maximum on one construction of building only. So that's waste. Okay, these animals need not require pakka construction, but certainly they need some of the infrastructure which is suitable to their behavior. Like goat, we say that they are the browsers, means they try to eat something from the top. That's why even you can see a photograph on the left, right, okay, wherever you see, say they try to eat from the top, not from the bottom. Sheep, they can graze, but not goat. So even if you make modern structure also, you should make sure that those structures are suitable to the animal, whether it's a sheep or goat. Another point is that most of the times when you say business, what we do, already you have some room or the infrastructure which you have constructed for the poultry, you want to convert into sheep and goat. Or you have built up a small room for something else. Okay, same thing you want to convert into sheep and goat. Okay, there only many people fail. Because rearing a 10 sheep, 10 goat is entirely different, but rearing 100 goat or 100 sheep is entirely different. The moment if you rear 10 animals, the supervision is always best. But when you rear 100 animals, by the end of the year, you will have too many issues, which you cannot address. Unless you have a typical housing structure. Means you should have a building where you can keep the advanced pregnant animals, kids, non-pregnant animals, and the fattening animals. If you try to keep these animals in the mixed conditions, there will be mortality. Okay, even if one animal dies at the age of 3 months, you're losing 5 months. The whole effort has gone. 2 months, totally your loss. It's irreversible process. So that's why when you think of any business, okay, then you need to show make a strategic plan where you need to have a proper shed, okay, which incurs a lot of money. Similarly, some of the supplements, okay, water, equipments like feeder, okay, they have to be there. If you try to make jugaad, then it's not going to work. Okay. So similarly, the running cost for the whole 12 months, not like the okay, temporary arrangement. Okay. Because when you have a very typical product to span, suppose in the advanced pregnant animals, you have compromised the feed. That will reflect in the number of kids born. So that's why when you take up in the project form, you should make sure that everything is okay, at least for the 1 year. Okay. Next comes cattle and buffalo farming. Okay. So here, little different from the sheep and goat. Sheep and goat, The husbandry practices are very simple, not day-to-day headache. Okay, you can very well manage with the labor. But dairy is entirely different. It is 24 into 7. So if you try to jump into the cattle and buffalo farming means, first you should make sure that you're going to supervise every minute. And if at all, if you are going to manage by the labor, at least you should make sure that one of your relatives, one of your trustworthy person is there in the farm. Then only it is possible. Okay. And also purpose should be clear. Purpose should be clear because nowadays market in everywhere milk is available. But does not mean that you cannot have a dairy farm. Still there is a critical gap. Okay. And also there is a demand for the pure milk. There is a demand for the buffalo milk. There is a demand for the organic milk. There is a milk for the indigenous breed milk. I don't want to use that A2 milk here, but desi cow milk. People have fancy for that one. Okay. Authenticity of the milk, because many wants to know that really what you are selling is really authentic. Are they produced from the same farm or not? Because in between there are so many people are involved. So that's why in case of cattle, if at all, if you want to jump, first you should see that in the local area, really there is a demand for milk or not. If not, whether there is a demand for the alternative, like pure cow milk, pure buffalo milk, or something like that. You should take that point into consideration, then you should jump it. Okay. So otherwise, you are also one of the other farmers where you will struggle from today to even after 10 years also, it is the same situation. Okay. If you see the true sense, either you can make or establish a market only for the fresh milk. Today you are milking in the early morning, 3 o'clock, bringing to the market. Till date in Bangalore, in my own area, 2 vehicles comes in front of our Air Force gate. Okay. People are coming with the container, 1 liter container, 2 liter container. You give only fresh milk, unpasteurized milk. People are there. One thing here, you have to establish a repo. Milk products in addition to the conventional products. Okay. So how best you are harvesting the value-added products. Okay. Functional milk products is another industry basically. So, but you should make sure that you have made a liaison with those people who are making these functional milk products. If you're not able to sell as a fresh milk. Okay. So when you say dairy, always we say that milk, but dung is also one product. No more it called as a livestock waste. No more it is called as a byproduct. Okay. It's a product now. Okay. So that also will be touching later, but you should also make sure that suppose if you're thinking about the conventional or you can say indigenous breeds, then in that case, dung play a major role, urine play a major role in addition to the milk. Okay. But now you have decided that I want to establish a farm where I want to exclusively for the milk or milk product. Okay. Then first and foremost, your choice of breed is HF. There is no other way. You can think of Jersey, but first choice is only HF cross. There is no ambiguity. There is no second thought. Okay. So when you say HF, first one thing you should keep it in mind. This is the top milk producer in the world. However, it has got its own demands. Okay. This is a temperate breed. It means that throughout the year, if there is a temperature lower than -5, still this breed is comfortable. But it cannot sustain or it cannot adjust when temperature goes more than 70 degrees or maximum 21 degrees. Beyond that, animal starts compromising its all productions. Okay. So that means that if you want a good breed, then you should have a good environment. Then only can explore or expert from that animal. Otherwise, you have a good breeder, good potential, but you are not getting the milk because you are not provided the surrounding. So I mean to say that if you decide to keep such elite animals, then your surrounding in the form of good housing should be the proper one. Murrah, as I told you, it's again throughout the world, still highest milk producer in the world. Okay. Not only in India, the neighboring countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, okay, still it tops. But the same breed, if you bring south, it will not work. But there is a demand. If not, production is as equivalent as it is in the native type, but still when many people are there who wants only the milk from the buffaloes. So in that case, you need to have Murrah, buffalo farm, or for that sake, any other Murrah. Okay. So similarly, if you want to have an indigenous farms, need not be Saiwal. It can be Gir also. It can be Devani also. Okay. So when you say Saiwal, it's mostly milk producing. Not only the animal is beautiful, but it's a milk producer. Devani, it's a milk producer. Gir, it's a milk producer. But there are some people who wants to have a breed which only they want to keep it for the show purpose. Okay, like Hallikar, Amrutmal, they are drought breeds. But still people want to have their own farm because there is a demand in the market. Suppose if you wish to have a farm which is indigenous, then the first stock foremost is important. Okay. So in that case, you should not depend your profit only on the milk, because milk yield is no doubt, it is less compared to HF. And one more point is that many times people tell that my sahiwal gives 50 liters. So that is only exceptional animals, but all animals will not give 50 liters. It is true. Okay. Its average milk yield will be 4 liter, 5 liter, 6 liter maximum. Okay. So in that case, profit you cannot expect from the milk only. Then you should go for the value added products like making a ghee, making a butter, okay, and also selling the urine, selling the dung. Then only these animals are profitable. Otherwise, again, end of the day, you are under the loss. So now for the dairy farming, if you wish to continue, then you should make sure that this piece is this will not run as an additional business. आप और कुछ कर रहे हैं, but उसके साथ आप dairy करना चाहते हैं, it will never be successful. Okay, it needs continuous supervision. Okay, it is very much customer based. Okay, suppose you have established the market, but in the lean season I mean to say is that April, May, June, July, where fodder production reduces because of temperature. Even the same animal, the milk production reduces. But you have established a market for the 10,000 liter. But now today your milk production is 8,000. Where you will fill that 2,000 liters gap? So that has to be well taken care. Okay, labor intensive, trustworthy labors are required, because all the time you cannot depend on milking machine. Sometimes due to some issues, power may go, generator may go off. Okay, so these animals will not wait for the milking machine. So then you need to have a few people who can milk the manually. Okay, so that's why it's a labor intensive. Competitive, so there is a very marginal, just like egg, where the profit is 50 paisa, 60 paisa, 30 paisa. Similarly, in milk also, the profit is very superficial. Superficial means maybe 2 liters, 3 liters. If everything is taken into consideration, the profit is very visible. In that case, your production matters. Okay, if 2 liters per milk means if you have a 1,000 liters, then it becomes 200 rupees. So like that. Then it's an irreversible process. Today you have brought a 10 cattle, okay, cows, which are costed more than 1 lakh or 80,000 rupees. Okay, due to one or other reason in between you ignored. Okay, and those animals did not consume the cost of that animal. Same animal, if you want to sell from your farm, people may not purchase for the 40,000. Okay, so like that, these animal farms, when you go further without much preparation, then becomes irreversible. Certainly you're going to be under loss. So that's why you should see that which is suitable to me. So keeping all this in view, keeping the interest of the public, keeping the progress of the country, Government of India has also introduced a huge budget for the establishment of the farms, pure farms, okay, particularly indigenous farms. Okay, even government is ready to give more than 1 crore. Earlier it was 50 lakhs, then 1 crore it increased, then it 2 crore. Okay. But there are a lot of terms and conditions. It's not that everyone can avail these loan facilities, but certainly many people can take the advantage of this particular farm. Okay, if you go to the DASD website, okay, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, okay, so you will get this link. You can go into this link and you can take the advantage. Okay, once you sure that you can, because already you should be in a business, then only you can avail this subsidy. Okay, so this is meant for who are eligible: individual, self-help group, farmer producer organization, farmers cooperatives, anybody altogether. Okay, so you can establish a sahiwal farm, but simply sahiwal farm, successful of the project will be less. But if you say that I'm going to establish a sahiwal farm, and also I'm going to use the sex-started semen, so that my all young ones will be female only. So thereby I'm able to enlarge my farm, and also I'm going to supply females to the other people, means government will certainly take it as a priority. And also you are going to use some latest technology, in vitro fertilization, because multiplication is fast. If you think in that direction, even the institute also can explore this project from the Government of India. Next, last sector, this among the animal rearing, pig farming. I'm not going in detail. Maybe among the participants, very few people must be there. Okay. However, pig has got its own advantage. It's highly prolific. Litter size is very high. growth is fast, dressing percentage is very high, which is that's why we call it as an exception. Okay, but only thing is that we need to know what exactly you want. Simply pig farming means where at what level you want to start. Whether you want to start as a farm owner, you want to have your own farm, or you want to be simply middleman. Pig sector is a very big again. If you want to have a own farm, okay, then whether you want to raise animal only for the slaughter purpose or the products. If you want to become a middleman, whether you want to purchase a small piglets from one farm, likewise 10 farmers, and you rear them for a short period, then you sell it. Or you will buy the fattener, means the marketing animals from Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, okay, from Maharashtra, and you're going to dispose at northeastern state. Okay, so which sector you want to export, that depends upon you only. Okay, so suppose if you think of breeder farm, then you need to have a strong knowledge. It's not a simple business because it involves artificial insemination, and also sire line means we want to maintain pure, because it's a breeder line, breeder farm. Okay, so you need to have maintain a sire line so that the progenies of your farms should perform same as and when you give to the farmers. So if there is a variable performance, people may not come to you. So if performs well in the field, naturally the young one, even the cost of piglet, if it's 5,000, even if you sell at 10,000 also, people may be ready, because for them it's a single investment, first investment. So first you should make sure that if at all, if you want to open a piggery farm, then you should make sure that you should have a proper stock, and you should have a breeding line. Okay, and survivability of the piglets. Why means you may get 10 piglets, but all may not survive. So you need stringent management practices there in your farm. Okay, so if you get 10 animals, but your survivability is only 6, 4, last what you're going to lose, your margin is totally lost. Okay, so next, if not breeder farm, you can think of the commercial farms. In this, you need not worry much, because this pig, it eats anything and everything, because it's an omnivorous. It does not mean that you can rear the way you want. I didn't mean like that. But since it is omnivorous, it can eat vegetarian, plants, even animal products, and FCR is very high. Okay, so if you want to make it as a commercial farm, so in that case, again, we have two options: low input, high income. Okay, but if you say low input, then your profit will not be as high as. But if you make more input, naturally profit will be more. I mean to say that there are many farmers who are rearing the pig only on the kitchen waste. Okay, naturally the growth will not be as high as when you rear them on the concentrate. But when you want to rear on the concentrate, then the cost is very, very high. First, you should know that where exactly and how exactly you want to do it. Okay, this is another option, but these are very typical, what you can say, risky business. Okay, because today you have brought 100 piglets at the age of 2 to 2.5 months, and you started rearing in your farm, and you are procuring the kitchen waste from the different cities. Okay, additionally, you are also purchasing the polish and rice bran from the different rice mills, and also you are arranging small, what you can say, vegetable mandi markets, and you are putting, means everything is arranged. You are not paying high amount. You are just paying only the nominal amount. But when you rear in such situation, the animal may suffer due to indigestion. The growth will not be as high as that the good rearing practices. Okay, so here the profit will be little less. Suppose if you think that you can rear for only slaughter purpose, certainly it's very, very good business compared to animal rearing, compared to being a middleman for the sale and purchase. So this is going to be very distinct. But you need to establish a market, because in the open market, many people are not interested to purchase. Okay, many people can get the pork directly through online, but they don't want to go to the pork stall and they want to purchase it. Okay, so that's why you need to have your own what you can say marketing system, either through retail outlet or telephonic marketing, or through linking with the hotels, or you can make the home delivery. So in the all metropolitan cities, these are already ongoing animals. If you think that these animals are being reared under the good management conditions, many people are ready. Otherwise, pig means people think that it's ugly. It is being reared only with the kitchen waste. It's only reared with the unwanted things. Okay, not necessary. There are so many farms out there which are fully grown using the concentrate. Okay. So here also DSD, Government of India, giving the money for the establishment of pig farm. Like earlier, people only talk about subsidies, and still they are ongoing. Subsidy for 50%, 30% for the individual animals at the farmers level. But here, what I'm showing the brochure, it is mainly for the entrepreneur purpose, because the whole motto of encouraging you people, auto motivating, okay. And end of the day, if you don't get into this one, it's of no use. That's why even government is also supporting. Because on the other end, you might have seen many pigs are being reared in the municipality area, which is ugly. Now you don't see such picture in many of the cities because it's now banned. The corporation has banned to have a pigs or pig rearing in the what you can say streets. So alternatively, the government is giving money to establish a pig farm. Okay. So here also, either if you want, you can book online also. You can apply even online also. Udyami Mitra app is there, so that's again under the DAT. You can very well see that whether I'm suitable to this business or not. You can think of, because there are some requirements which you have to fulfill it. Okay. So this is all together about the pig farm. Those who are really new to these areas, whether it's a sheep and goat, cattle, or pig farming, still you want a little information. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to go to express. So iVary has developed some apps where it gives brief information, gives brief project details. Okay. So if you go to the Play Store, if you can download it and you can have a look, it's very brief information, ready reckoner information. Okay. Now another small sector, salvation of male buffalo calves for the meat production. Though government tried to encourage this business since 2010, but it has not picked because of so many intricacies or internal problem. But still, I'll try to brief about this project. What happens in every dairy farm? Male is a burden. Okay, whether it's a buffalo or HF male or Jersey male, they think that it's a burden. Why it's burden? Because that much of milk you have to spare for the rearing of cows. At least as per the recommendation, minimum 70-75 days compulsorily you have to give milk to these animals as per the ethical ground. Okay, but you don't want to spare that much also, because at the end of the day, you know that male cows are not useful to me, and I cannot straight away sell in the market for the slaughter. That too, in case of HF, Jersey and all, it's very pathetic situation nowadays. So that's what people do. They ignore it. They will not give the milk. They will make the animal off it, and one day on starvation it dies. Okay, so it has become even burden to the farm itself. You cannot blame them also, because at the end of the day, they also have to see that their farm is going to be profitable. But in case of buffaloes, since that is allowed for the meat purpose, barring few states, barring few terms and conditions, okay, so buffalo for the meat purpose is allowed. Okay, so that's why under this scheme, even government also started into the salvaging and rearing of male buffalo calves scheme started in 2010 actually. Still this scheme is available. Okay, so what happens in this? So separate the male from the dam and try to rear them on the milk, and you try to rear them on low cost. Okay, so you need to have a body weight which is slaughtering weight. It can be 280, 300 kg in case of buffaloes. Okay, make MO with the meat industries or slaughterhouse. Okay, wherever it is permitted, that you should make sure that wherever it is permitted, as per the latest Slaughter Act, you should see that. So in that case, you can think of rearing a male buffalo calves and rearing on the low cost feed and making them to grow till 300 kg. Then you supply to the slaughterhouse. Okay. Broiler rabbit farming, I'm not going in detail because the demand is not equal at every state, every place, that you have to see that. Otherwise, presently rabbits are being reared mainly as experimental animals, barring few states where like Jharkhand, tribal belt, okay, rabbits are also being reared for the meat purpose. Now, another important sector which I would like to say, though we don't say that it's a livestock. Laboratory mill, we don't have a livestock, but still I'm giving, because a farmer who has got already a building, okay, if he can make a link with the people who have got already a registration under the CPCSA, who have got permission to rear, breed, okay, and supply the animals for the R&D purpose. Okay. But many times what happens, they don't have space, sufficient space. Okay. They also outsource to another people. So in that case, you can explore it, like rearing of rat, mice, guinea pig, rabbits, particularly as a laboratory animals. So that also is a good option, particularly those people who are in and around urban and peri-urban area. Certainly they can think for rearing these species, provided they should have a proper contact with the people who are already registered under the CPCAC, who are entitled to supply the animals for the private companies. Okay. So now first content or first the category of my topic was rearing animal as an entrepreneurship. Okay. Under which I talked about dairy, I talked about sheep and goat, piggery farm, then I talked about rabbitry, and lastly laboratory animals. So now all entrepreneurship, okay, should be decided based on these 5 points. Okay, based on the 5 points. As a businessman, everyone goes through this project: technical feasibility, economic viability, margin money. Okay, this is from your end. But as a business point of view, it's need not be only cost benefit ratio. Net present value and internal rate of return, they're equally important, because today you're investing 10 lakhs. Okay, and you're after 5 years, 3 years, because you will be borrowing money from the bank also. So after 10 years, what will be my farm situation? Today, what profit you current as a profit may not be the proper profit after 3 years, because by that time already what you can say, the cost rearing, everything has increased. Okay, so that's why internal rate of return, net present value, cost, all 3 points you have to see. Out of all these, which is feasible and suitable to you, you have to decide it. Okay, this is first point. Next, I'm going to talk on entrepreneurship related to feed industries. Why this is very important? Like there was a time where many of the items you're getting free of cost, because for you it is a burden. Like if you go to paddy rearing belt, after harvesting paddy, the what you can say, the part of the stem which was left in the farm, they used to burn it because it was a burden for him. But nowadays nothing is free. Okay, if you ask anybody to take, immediately will come. Sometimes you may have to pay. Okay, so everything you have to, at least if not huge amount, at least token amount you have to pay. Okay, so I mean to say that for any rearing practice, 70% expenditure goes towards the feed. So that's why this feed industry is also equally playing an important role in the livestock. Another point is new exploration of unconventional feeds. It is your capability. Like we say that many farmers are innovative farmers. People, it is not talked in the literature, but people try to make their own trial and error. अगर कुछ वहां मिल जाता अपनी एरिया में, बेस्ट एग्जांपल इज जागरी बेल्ट एरिया में, वहां से बेली निकलता है, बट जनरली दे थ्रो इट अवे, बट पीपल ट्राई टू टेक इट अवे फ्रॉम देयर, दे विल फीड टू द पिग. Okay, so likewise there can be n number of things. Other person may say that it is for him not required, for it may be unconventional feed to the animals. Only thing is that that particular feed, whether it is suitable to the sheep, goat, pig, or some other, so that you need to explore it. So if you're able to explore that one, it's in another business. Okay, processing and storage of feed ingredients. Okay, so now people can grow the fodder when there is a sufficient train, but same fodder when there is excess, people cannot store it because that is an additional business. They need some little processing, implement, storage, go on you require, but still it's going to be another business. Looking for an alternate method to grow feed ingredients. So conventional method kya hai? So you have arable land, you go for the preparation of land, sowing, harvesting, and you feed to the animals. But now space is the constraint. So now how best you can think of rearing a fodder varieties which is once sown, it can be harvested for 2 to 3 years. How you can harvest the fodder, so which are can be reared on the low rainfed area. Okay, so like that you should look for it. When you say for feeding industry, it can be a green fodder. In that also leguminous, Napier is a non-leguminous. Bersim and Lucher, which very demand in Bangalore for the particularly feeding of laboratory animals. Okay, we ourselves are purchasing the lucerne for 25 rupees per kg. Can you think of? Otherwise, normal green fodder is 6 rupees, 3 rupees, 4 rupees. But the lucerne, which is considered to be leguminous, okay, for the rearing of guinea pig, people are ready to pay 25 rupees. Even if you have half acres of land and if you know that how to grow it, so naturally you can explore it. Dry fodder, as I told you, You may not grow the dry fodder. There are already agriculture field. You need to have a proper tractor, baling system, storage system. You go to the field, bale it, you store it on place, then you make a linkage with the farms, and as and when required, just you can dispose. Silage preparation, okay, concentrate. Just I'll try to take one by one. So these are the 4 areas within the feed industry we can think of. Small scale feed factory, okay, concentrate. I mean to say that. See, for any concentrate, whether it's a cattle feed, whether it is a what you can say pig feed or any feed for that matter, we need 100% cereals. We need byproduct like rice bran or wheat bran, okay, polished, broken rice. So these are all the byproduct of already some processing industry. Suppose if your area is predominant rice mill, then you can think of the small scale feed factory. Suppose your area is predominant with maize, where you will get the maize at lower price. You can have. So means for the local farmers only, make your own tailor-made formulas, prepare at your farm level and give in a small quantity. That is also a good business. Need not be a big industry and need not have a even trade name also. Okay, for that matter. So another is exploration of feed ingredients. So he is a Dr. Prakash. So 30 years back. So he started with the you can imagine people are innovative means it's not like that you only the intelligent people. Even veterinarian also he explored the slaughterhouse byproduct like leather meal, meat meal, bone meal. He started with the small tendering unit. Now it's a very big business. He is a supplier of meat meal, bone meal, leather meal, and also many feed supplements. Okay, this is one example to say that even byproduct can also be processed and sold as your product. Even exploration of vegetable mandi waste. See, handling a vegetable waste is really, really difficult. For them now, he wants only a proper presentation. Rest of the things unwanted, just he'll throw in the mandi and he will go away. So whether you are able to pick up and you can dry it or process it, it is your capacity. Okay. Similarly, kitchen waste. Okay. Similarly, sugarcane in belt, what you can say, press mud. Okay. It is being put in the agriculture feed. We agreed, but for the livestock industry, I'm telling, okay, because it's a good source of minerals. So people have tried to use that press mud directly on fresh basis, but we try to explore at our own IVRA by drying it, storing it, and using it as one of the feed ingredient at 1%, 2%, 3%, because it's a good source of minerals. We tried with the cattle, sheep, goat, pig, poultry, every sector it worked. Only thing is, the weakness of this one is how to dry it and how to store it, because it contains high amount of moisture, suddenly it gets fungus. So now that point someone has to see it, because we did it manually, but practically when it comes to business, we cannot do it. So someone has to take up that one. Okay. Similarly, in the jaggery belt, this press mud, sugarcane, jaggery, where it contains high amount of non-reducing sugar. Okay. It's just like that it is being thrown. You can dry it. Okay. We as a small scale with the students' work, we try to store by adding some binders, by adding some other materials. Okay, we try to store it as a experimental scale, but someone can think of it. Okay, this is a pelleting making machine. So whenever you think of using the unconventional feeds, okay, you can make a pellet, because when you put together, it makes a dry pellet, which is a complete feed. So now it is your innovation, your knowledge, your ability, how best you can use this pellet making machine to make a feed. So that is your ability. So these are all available at, we can say, affordable price, maybe 5 lakhs, like 25 lakhs, these also. So now by adding different ingredients, you can make a typical pellets and you can dispose to this one. Fodder production. Like earlier, this was only at the farmer level. Okay, but now even it is being taken as an industry. So now he's Imanshu, he's my student. Okay, he had a huge land, which was heritable property from his grandfather. So he did not do any veterinary job. He jumped, now he's really flourishing. So he started with simply harvesting and producing. Now he's making 5 kg bag, 10 kg bag, 25 kg bag, silage he is making. Okay, he's from Kanpur. Okay, so like that, so there is nothing like that, it's completed. So now there are so many, like not necessary you should have only good fodders. Okay? There are n number of varieties fodders are available, where you can rear them on the low rain fed, okay, low water requirement, okay, even without water requirement. Some are perennial, okay, some are annual. So you need to know which one is suitable to you, and you can supply to the needy farmer. Because for other person, like urban and peri-urban, space is a constant. You can have a dairy farm, but you cannot grow the fodder. So you have to depend on somebody else. Okay. So similarly, lucerne, I told you, it's not only for the dairy animals, even for the guinea pigs. So like at our own farm, we are producing lucerne and groundnut. We both are leguminous. So it is not only now sufficient our own like guinea pigs. We have more than 1,000 guinea pigs for our experiment. So not only we are giving to us, but also we are giving to other people also. Because now whenever we feel excess. Similarly, whenever we used to say hay making, generally we think of only cereals like maize, jawar. But I try to store even the Napier also. It worked out excellent even for me also. So it's a trial and error. So this is a hay made from the Napier only, CO3, CO5, okay. So this we try to do it at our own level, okay. So likewise, wherever you feel that I can do it, you can take. So baling system nowadays is a very good option. Okay, this is also another industry when there is a harvesting season for the paddy or ragi, even for the wheat, depending upon your belt, okay, you can think of. Even for our own sake, paddy straw, we give the purchase order today, he is able to supply only after 1 month because nowhere it is available. Everywhere it's being harvested, okay. So this is another industry, complete feed. So though technology is old, but it was not popular because of additional cost, because of additional burden, but now it is a need of the time. Everywhere, this straw cannot be stored in the godowns because it needs lot of space. Okay, now it is being compressed and stored and it's being sold. This is Pannagar. It was in the Uttaranchal in order to supply to the different part of the hilly state where transportation was a headache. So now having these type of bricks, and if you supply one brick to one animals, okay, it will take care of his dry requirement per day. Okay. Similarly, even National Seed Corporation also supplying. On its own, it's not making, it is making through farmers, but it is supplying to the government. Okay. So this is a dry fodder block actually. So mineral mixture block, something even our Karnataka Milk Federation is also making. So similarly, farmers also do. Silage, if you see, it is an old technology, but the method was very cumbersome. Like earlier, used to have a bunker, used to do manually, but nowadays it has improved like anything. Okay. Even you can do it in the open land. Okay. Only thing you should need to know aerobic conditions. Okay. Now commercial companies have come, silage bags have come, compressors have come. So these are the wide varieties of so even you can make a minor change. Okay. So which can be dealt at your lane. So now polythene bag came. Now it is a typical polythene is coming. Use on throw bags. Earlier, what you see here, it is a reusable. But nowadays it is single-use bags are also coming for the what you can say green fodder production, hydroponics. Though it's not a commercial venture, but it is one of the options. Okay. Even government also is supplying to establish a addition of feed and fodders. See now what are the things it is supporting? You can see for the hay preparation, silage preparation, TMR, total mixed ration means here you will mix both dry fodder and concentrate. We call it as a total mixed ration. Means here you need not give fodder and concentrate separately. It is clubbed, blended, and it is given. Okay. So similarly, fodder blocks making. Okay. Storage facility, Gordon also it gives. Who is eligible? So individual, self-help group, like everyone is eligible. What for it gives? It gives for the machines. Okay. It gives for the chaff cutter. It gives for the generator. So you can go through this brochure and you can think of working on that. Okay. So this is another last but one product, the industry, so which is never ending. It is never ever ending, and it is going to be full-fledged in the coming days because there is a lot of gaps still in the availability of milk products. Okay. So now why should we enter this product industry? Because there is a demand, there is a rising support opportunities, means policy is supporting us and also making livestock sector viable. Simply if you depend on one product fresh, it's not going to work. In order to make it viable, you need to upgrade ourselves by making a products which are tradable, okay, which are, you can say, worth to say that my product is really good for this one. Okay, either in the quality or anything some unique. Okay. If you see the literature till date, there is a huge adulteration. Adulteration, I didn't mean that adding a pesticides or the content of pesticide. Here, adulteration means making artificial milk. Okay. Adding a milk powder in the milk means use the milk powder and making it as a fresh milk. Okay. This adulteration I'm doing. It means that still there is a lot of gap in the availability of fresh milk, particularly in the lean period. So that part I'm trying to address here. So whenever you want to establish a fresh milk, then you should see that in your area really there is a demand or not. So if you want to make it as a your own trade name, so certainly it's a good option. But establishing a trade name is not so easy job. Okay, Still people have export heritage milk. You can see, okay, there are so many products are nowadays established their market. Next, goat milk. Suppose if you are thinking of the goat industries, goat milk is also one option because the uniqueness of the goat milk, if you try to export, already people have export. If you go to Delhi area, Ghaziabad, okay, those belt, particularly for, because in the northern area, there is a huge demand for the homeopathic and Ayurvedic. They are very fascinated about those. So many of the Ayurvedic doctors and homeopathic doctors, they recommend any medicines, okay, when they want to use it, they recommend the goat milk because of easy absorption. But that goat milk is not easily available. But people have export by putting a small milk processing unit and disposing 200 liter ml pouch, 100 ml pouch, 250 ml pouch like that. Because this has got a medicinal value, okay. So once it is a medicinal, if you make a good rapport with the doctors, so certainly you can export it. How? Make a small sachets, bottles, okay, and also link it with the doctors. So there are some already brand names, goat milks are also available in the market. Once upon a time, camel milk also not permitted, but nowadays the products are also coming in the market. See, someone has ventured in this one. That's why today they are available in the market. Okay. Only thing is that where you stand, that's more important. Milk products available, but unique products, milk chips. Probably very few people might have heard of it. But milk chips, IVR tried, LPD department tried to make a milk chips. Those who really crazy about that one, so they try to make it milk nuggets. Nugget is a well-known product in the meat industries, but milk nuggets, they were unexplored, so IVR did it. So like that, you can explore by ways and means. Might not be a well-proven technology, but you can explore at every level. Okay, functional milk products providing milk, you all know it already. Okay, so like that, you can explore it. Even animal husbandry department, if you go to website, see supporting so much under the National Livestock Mission. Okay, for the different purpose, establishing a dairy farm, breeds, feed industries, extension activities, even innovations, everything you say that it is going to be useful to the farmers, government funds. Okay, milk products, it is huge. Even for the implements which are used for the making a milk products, so that is government is supporting. You can explore the website and you can see it. So the meat products, a number of meat products IVR has made. Okay, some are yet to be commercialized, some have been already commercialized. So like that, you can take the technology from the well-known brands and you can use your franchise and you can open your own shop. So likewise, if you see the ghee, okay, so India has also developed a low cholesterol ghee, like that, different, even the processing, I mean, need not be product, but how to make the spent chicken into a tender chicken. So like that, there are some processing technology, what we call it as a processing technology, making a different ways and by which. Okay. Similarly, another product, I did not tell byproduct. Even earlier it was called as a livestock waste, dung. Okay, but dung is called as a black diamond. Okay, dung is called a dark diamond because it contains the NPK for organic production, organic livestock, organic agriculture. This is the prerequisite. Okay, and the same simple farmyard manure, if you want to make it a more richer, make it vermicompost, make it a biofertilizer by adding enzymes. Okay, so one step processing input can make a brand. Its only thing is that where you stand and where you can explore, that left to you only. Okay, so if you see the dung, it is generally done manually like this and it is thrown. Okay, but when I was at Pantnagar, when we were in the dairy farm, practically dairy farm was under loss, and on the other end, the dung was a huge nuisance handling. Okay, because if you want to put a fresh manure into the agriculture, it was not required. Composting, we don't have space, but same thing, which was just taken a little pain by a good administrator. They tried to make a linkage with the NGO. Okay, there's the same fresh dung. Instead of throwing like this, they started throwing it in the raw manner. Then they used the leftover over which, and they introduced the worms, and they started making vermicompost. Even additionally, whenever there is a seepage of water, so side by side they put some agriculture produce also. So they are also sold as the agriculture product. These are the conventional method of vermicomposting. Nowadays, so much of upgradation has taken place. Simplest way, need not to be a trench like this. Okay, even in the open yard, you can make it. Okay. So for the sale purpose, the Pantnagar University made a link with the NGO and they started making a product as a Pant vermicompost and they started. So now comes to make a vermicompost. Okay. Earthworms, what we call it as a commercial earthworms. Either it is Escherichia foetida or Udrilus eugenia. These are the commonly used earthworms in the market. But both these worms are not sustainable in the extreme cold and extreme summer. Okay. In the northern part of India, this was the situation. In southern part, it's very popular, long back. But in the northern part, during the extreme temperature, worms used to die. Similarly, during cold season, the worms used to die. So that's why IVRA developed by repeated selective breeding, and it developed one earthworm called Jai Gopal. It's very popular nowadays. Those who are already linked with the IVRA, so probably believe it. The advantage with this Jai Gopal earthworm, which has been developed by IVRA, it has got high fecundity, highly tolerant, rich in protein, and it can be bred throughout the year. So this is the uniqueness. Okay. Similarly, handling of dung, I told you it was a really nuisance. Many farmers, they explored alternatively. Okay. If you try to use the dung as it is, it's a very bulk because it contains huge water. Okay. So people try to make that wet part separately, dry part separately. Okay. For which already n number of different types of machines are available, which can separate the liquid part and dry part. So this is one separation of water content from the drain, so that handling will become easy. You can see this is another machine which is imported. It's at now Gujarat. Now companies have come which are fabricating this machine. Okay. So now what it is, this is the collection of the dung. Okay. We call it as a slurry. Okay. So handling this slurry is very difficult. So by using this instrument, so water content will be again pumped directly into the agriculture field. The fiber content, mainly cellulose and hemicellulose, can be used for many purposes. It can be used for the composting, particularly for the pots. Okay. So sometimes it can be used for the making of some products. Okay. Dung cakes, which are required for many purposes. This particular dry part, it is used for many activities. Okay. So there are n number of places which they need these dung. Okay. Not necessarily only the dung cakes. Okay. So even IVRA has also tried to make one compost, because composting takes its own time. There is a cyclicity. Okay. So mechanical, a mechanism was developed with the IIT people. Okay. So now in which not only dung, all the degradable materials. Okay. It can be tree leaves, it can be left or anything. So something you can, so this is the trial mode, but someone can think of it the pilot mode. Okay. See, some of the products are also available in the already online. It means that there is a demand somewhere. Okay. So if you cannot use your dung for the farmyard manure, vermicompost, okay, and also you can think of even producing the gas, which is again an additional business, but certainly it needs extra energy. The conventional method was this one, drum system, floating drum system. It is a KVIC method, what we created. But this, after some time, it is to get trust. That's why people discouraged. पहले तो क्या होता scheme था, government पैसा देता था, इसलिए बन जाता था. But nowadays people don't want to go in this one. But nowadays portable systems are also available. Okay, so larger scale also available. Even if you can't have a container, this is bio film geomembrane biogas plants are available. Wherein, because in this system, what happens? The fixed dome shape, the gas pressure will not be built up, so that's why burning will not be proper. But when you use these type of geomembrane, what happens? As and when gas is filled, okay, it will balloon up. Okay, as and when gas is reduced, still the pressure in the pipeline maintains. This is one advantage, and there is no question of rusting. And such geomembranes are used, okay, for the many biodigester, not necessarily from the dung. Okay, even for the any other byproduct. Even at our own apartment, we're using this biomembrane for the biodigester. Okay, this is one advantage with the involvement of these geomembranes. So that's why this gas production has become more easier compared to the conventional method. Okay, this is the last part, which I'm not, because already it's too late. Quickly, I'll go through. So livestock implements have been introduced to reduce the drudgery and the labor, to address the labor scarcity, to increase the efficiency of the farm system, to increase the revenue. Okay. So manually, if you see, first and foremost thing is tax. Okay. If you go to larger farms, अगर कोई भी जो farm animal के बारे में जानता है, अगर वो आज नहीं होगा, recording system becomes futile exercise. तो इसलिए tax आया. These are the simple tax, but nowadays RFID tax are available. Earlier we were importing, but nowadays so many under the same startups. Okay, many companies are preparing these RFID tags and RFID readers under the same startup program, because when you import, it is a costly, but when you make at your own level, So they are becoming little affordable. With that, every farmer can use it. Okay. Similarly, conventionally, you see water being given like this. Okay. But nowadays, so many modified versions. Like otherwise commercial, these are the commercial one. But now innovators, this is the same sink which are commercially used. Okay. But it is developed by a farmer in the Punjab. But same, the water, this automatic water drinker has taken a commercial. Now he has started preparing his own brand. So what is the uniqueness? You see, simply he has put a float here and there is a connectivity in the tap. So as and when this gets filled, okay, this balloon comes to the top, automatically water is stopped. Here on the other end, as and when animal drinks the water will come from here to here. Simple technology, but farmer has innovated it. So, okay. So what is the advantage? It gives fresh water all the time. Water is available. Okay. No competition between the animals, no spillage of water, easy to clean. Okay. But this is an innovation. So earlier it used to be stainless steel. Now people have used the non-breaking plastic fiber. Earlier plastic fiber means wo tod dega guy. But nowadays it is a non-breakable water feeder. Similarly, washing system, it involves a lot of labor and also it involves a lot of water. So we also at ANGRAU we try to make a mechanism. Just आपने car spa देखा होगा. Somebody might have seen car spa. Vehicle goes inside, whether it's a bus or vehicle, it goes inside. First, it will be washed with the normal water. When it comes out, it will be washed, splashed with a soap. Another time when it goes inside, it will be washed with the water. So by the time it comes out, what your car is washed, at least from the external side. Same thing here also, some mechanism was attempted in the form of post-graduate students, where an animal enter from one end, by the time animal comes out, it will be fully washed. Okay. At every 3 levels, water will be sprayed from the top, middle, and bottom, though it's a primitive level. Okay. So similarly, self-grooming system, earlier they were importing. So nowadays it is being made at the Indian level. Okay. Some of the small equipments which have been developed by even Tanvas, okay, for the farmers to make a dung cakes, which were done manually. Okay. Even the cow lifting devices. See at ANGRAU 35 years back. Okay. This was a crude method of lifting the animals, particularly in the mill fever, animals will become recommend. Okay. In order to lift the animals, this was the conventional method. But nowadays, simplest one, cow lifting device has been evolved by the Tanvas. Okay. So like that, earlier for the cleaning of the dung. So ANGRAU we had a bullock driven. Okay. So nowadays we have mechanized, okay, motor operated cleaning systems. So similarly for the lifting of the animal from one to so lifting was a huge labor intensive. So for our own farm, maybe it's a 1 or 2 pieces we have at highway, but it's useful. It's useful and easy to lift the animals which have been dead to take from farm to the post-mortem. Okay. So similarly, the mobile trays are crushed, not the permanent one. So now see the crude form, it is so big, now modified. So now ANGRAU has developed a portable restraining device. As and when you feel that for the extension purpose, you can. So likewise, even farmers can make n number of innovations at his own level. Okay. Similarly, cooling system. Okay. Since water is a constant, now even the companies have come up, wherein this is a conventional method of cooling system. Okay. These are all conventional method of cooling system. But nowadays, automatic. So depending upon the temperature, the frequency of the spraying decides. Okay. Depending upon the humidity, the frequency of foggers will become on and off. So now it is an automatic, depending upon the what you can say local, what you can say meteorological parameters, your sprinkler system works. Already farmers have developed and also companies have come up. Okay. Even at ANGRAU, we try to develop a small blanket, okay, which can cool the animals without having it repetitive use of the sprinklers, because with the sprinklers, the disadvantage is that the floor is all the time slippery. There are some disadvantage. Okay. So in order to avoid that one, we try to develop. So this is special bags wherein the water is put and uniformly distributed. So this is a pilot study. This also can be done at farmer level. People have done it. People have made their own methods of jackets for the cows, particularly for the winter season. If you go to Haryana and Punjab, people have made it like that. Okay. Even for the biosecurity measures, putting a lime in the entry of the farms, entry of the gate, entry of the individual farms. Okay. For this one, Tanvas has developed. Okay. These are the rubber mats. Earlier it's been imported. Nowadays, Indian companies have come up. Okay. The pedometers. Pedometer means it tells about the health status of the animals. In European countries, it's very common. But the same animal, same pedometers we cannot implement at our farm because costly. Now India has, at the pilot study, it has developed, but it needs engineers, it needs software engineers. So this is also a still unexplored part one can think of. Infrared thermography, okay, so thermometers normal, infrared thermometers, it's a digital, now thermography, it tells you everything about the animals. So this is, thermography is not basically meant for the animals, it is meant for the some other purpose, it's basically meant for the civil purpose. But at the research level, we use this infrared thermograph to assess the health of the animals. But now someone can, who is an engineer, can make a software by which he can develop a programs by which he can tell the what you can say the status of the animals. Now hand milking has been replaced by the portable. So now it's a commercial one, but now it is portable. Battery operated also available, generator operated, very speedy, very affordable. Okay, so these are the improvements. So this is never ending. Okay, even community milk parks have been established by the Karnataka milk production, wherein they established a milk park. Farmers will bring the cows and will go for the milk. Okay, so for which lot of things have to be needed. So mosquito nets, now conventional mosquito nets are being used by the farmers, but now people have come up in Punjab, a commercial mosquito nets, tailor made. If you tell length by height by width, you will prepare a mosquito net with a what you can say proper dooring system and will give you. Okay, so these are unexplored. Similarly, whenever we practice a weaning manual feeding like that, when you do it the manual bottle feeding, it is time consuming, labor intensive. So we developed a goat self. So everyone can develop at his own level. Okay, so we also developed a feeders, as I told in the beginning, for the goat rearing. If you want to rear them on the stall feeding, but you have to make sure that their browsing behavior is not affected. So with that intention, we have developed this one. Okay, for the dipping purpose, that Tanvas has developed and implement. Okay, for the piggery farm, just see if you see the normal piggery farm, so generally open paddock hota hai, covered area hota hai, but space itna paisa abhi log dalna nahi chahta hai. Nobody wants to spend this much money on the construction. So that's why people are going for the fully intensive system. Jab fully intensive jayenge to animal bahut ganda hota hai. Isliye you can see this one, there is a lot of smell in the piggery farm. So with that intentions, if you in the European countries, if we see a lot of auto cleaning system is there. Okay, but this is not affordable for the India. This is slotted for system, it's a washing system, this is a flushing, these are all European countries, but in India it's really costly. With this intention, we developed a small toilet area wherein animals uska tendency hota pig ka. Okay, or it goes on its own outside and it try to defecate on the corner of the pen. It's its tendency. Okay, so you make such a area, make a auto flush system. So at a particular given time, this water will flush, which we have developed under the student experiments. This is also an unexplored area. So biogas conventionally is different. Now even syntax, so many companies have come. Okay, even preparing a biodiesel from the carcass. Okay, this is all in the primitive stage, unexplored part one can think of. Similarly, orphan piglets. So those who are already in the pig industries, this is really a nuisance, because if mother gives to piglet, give birth to piglets, but due to some reason, there is a condition called agalexia. There is no letdown of milk. All piglets will die. Okay, but you want to rear them on the cow milk, piglets will not sustain. Okay, so for which there is a number of products are available, but these are all are imported. No Indian company is making it. Recently, the Royal Livestock has started that few products for the, but someone has to come. So this again an innovation. When you bring your kitchen waste from the different what you can say sources, so some source will be vegetarian, some source will be non-vegetarian, but pig needs a uniform diet. So this is for a farmer who has invented this one both. But nowadays he has left the piggery farm, he has started supplying these type of feeders and the blenders to the other pig farmers. So now he feels that this is more profitable than a rearing a pig. But he started with this business for his own farm in the beginning. But nowadays he has taken as a primary business. Okay. The last part, other possibilities, transportation related registration farms. Okay. So as I told you in the beginning, if you are planning to for a middleman and you are involved in the sale and purchase. Okay. So, and also sometimes if you are a transporter, you can think of even making your own transportation system, and your business is to make a link with the purchaser and seller. Your role is from the purchasing point, from the delivery point, it's your rating. Okay, because क्या होता है पंजाब में आपने 10 एनिमल खरीदा, now you want to bring to the Bangalore. Okay, so he has to cross at least 7 states. It's really a headache for him. But someone, a transporter, is already well versatile with the transportation rules and he has got his own truck. Only thing is he has to have modified trucks. Okay, so now is his responsibility from buying place like Punjab and bringing to the Bangalore. Okay, so in between is his headache. So we'll decide the price from there to here, what is the cost? Just like a freight goods, that many farmers have come up. Okay, so now people have modified. So automatic lifting system. Okay, so similarly hydraulic system. So now those who really ventured into the business, his job is only to transport animals. So you can see this particular fellow is well known in Punjab. He brings animals from the Pakistan and he bring to the animals. So here there is a sand, you can see the gunny bags filled with the straws. You can see the feeds here. Okay, so now his full responsibility is to bring safely animal from the purchase place to the here. It's his own truck. Full during the transportation, it is his headache. Okay, so this is the unexplored part, particularly as a transporter. Only thing is that you need to be well versatile with the Transportation Act, which is given by the government of India. Okay, this is all I wanted to cover. I have taken more than 1 hour. So I tried to touch every part of the livestock industries. If you have very specific questions, please let me know.
Thank you so much for the wonderful session, sir. Now the session is open for the questions. If you have any questions, you can directly unmute and ask your questions. If not, you can drop it in the chat box as well. So we have a question in the chat box asking for how to save animals during its transport from Go Rakshak. Nowadays, it's a serious issue in Northern India territory. Someone is asking.
Okay. See, I myself is being involved transportation of animals almost 5 years after coming to Bangalore campus, almost every year, because we need animals for the experimental purpose actually. And at least I make 7 to 8 trips for purchasing of animals from the farmer here. So what my concern is, as per the government rules, the first and foremost thing is that from where you are purchasing, source of the animal should be very clearly spelled out. Okay. See, if you don't tell the source, proper people will doubt. This is one point. Source of the animal should be spelled out. And second is where you're going to take. So these are the one is source, another is destiny. So this point has to be defined. How you are to define? So as per the transportation rules 2017, there is a pro forma wherein you have to mention the ownership certificate. Suppose you are purchasing cow number A. Okay, so the name of the cows from the farmer, fitness certificate from the veterinarian. Okay, and whether this animal is being transported via which route and what is the destiny. If you have that description with you, even someone, see, public creates nuisance when you worry. But if you have a proper record, no one will bother. This is one point. Second point, suppose if you are bringing for your own certificate, then you have to tell that what is your destiny. Suppose you are already established dairy farm, you have got already your description about your, so you are. So like in my case, I take all the other cards from whom I am purchasing, and I take one certificate from my head of the institute saying that these animals are going to be transported from this place to my experimental station for the sake of vaccine testing. Additionally, I also put one letter to the police station, which is on the way. Okay, I'll put one day email, official email, stating that, sir, I'm going to transport 20 animals from this place to this place with this vehicle number. So these 3 points I will take here. Okay, so with this legally, no one can touch. Additionally, you should also make sure that the vehicle which you are going to use should suit to the farmer. Suppose your vehicle is suitable only for the 3 cows, but you are carrying 5 cows, which is really objectionable. Whether even you have a genuine reason, people can trap. So some of the guidelines, if you follow, nobody will touch you. So that is the one thing. Okay, that if you're a farmer, it is not an easy task to touch you. But you yourself are already in the problematic situation, you're not following, so then things will go wrong. Then people will beat you, unnecessarily extort, and they will take the money.
There is one more question in the chat box, sir. Best goat breed farming in Odisha.
In Orissa.
Yes.
See, from Orissa also already there are two well-known breeds are there. If you wish, you can go with the same breed because the purpose is meat. If it is for the meat, any breed is fine. First thing is any breed is fine for the meat. There is no preference for the any breed in India at least. Okay. But if you think that your local breeds are not up to the mark, okay, and if you think that typical meat breeds are like Jamnapari, sorry, not Jamnapari. Jamnapari is for the milk purpose. Siroi, it's a very typically for the meat purpose. Okay, if you think that, you can very well procure from the other states like neighboring Madhya Pradesh or what you can say Uttar Pradesh. You can rear them. It's management practice are one and the same.
And someone want to know more about milk nuggets and milk chips, sir. They
Okay.
wanted to have the detailed information.
This is the technology prepared by IVRA. So someone is really interested, they can give their number so that I'll share with the concerned person. Since it is not free of cost, so suppose if you're really venture into the business stating that this is the technology borrowed from IVRA, amount will not be too high, maybe 10,000 or 5,000, but already if you're in that industry, you can borrow the technology and the name of IVRA technology, you can also sell it. And both the technologies are all open forever, non-exclusive. Anyone can purchase.
What are the necessary licenses or permissions required to start feed products related enterprise?
As such, there is no license is required unless you have a large venture. Suppose if you are making a small scale feed preparation unit at your local area, need not have any what you can say permission. Just like any other business, you need to have a GST number if you want to make it as a what you can say as a normal business. But if you want to run as a small scale industry, then all the formalities which are required for the MSME small scale industry business, the same thing, the way it is required for other business, same thing it is also required for feed industry.
Best cow breed in Bundelkhand region.
See, in Bundelkhand region, it's a part of MP, so it is almost at par with UP. Okay, if it comes to cattle, okay, for the milk purpose means I strongly suggest only HF cross. But if you think of indigenous breeds, either Gir or Saiwal, both are okay. If you want dual purpose, both Tarparkar and you can say Haryana. So all these breeds are suitable to Bundelkhand region.
One more question, sir. Earlier, we have planned to start Gunia pig farming, but due to lack of information, we are unable to start. Where can we get the information? Someone is asking, sir.
Which farming, sir? Madam?
Gunia pig farming.
Okay, guinea pig. Guinea pig. Actually, guinea pig is basically you can say experiment animal or laboratory animals, where we are also keeping our guinea pigs as experiment animals for our vaccine testing. Actually, see, for guinea pig, what you can say farming, we can say that it is not exactly it's called as a farming. Only thing is that you can rear the guinea pig for the two purpose. One, if you have a proper linkage with the any R&D industry, then you can rear them, you can supply it. Otherwise, as a pet animal, also guinea pigs are being reared. As a meat, it's not being reared actually, only for the sake of guinea pig. But if you want to make your own guinea pig farming for the sake of supply purpose, first thing is you have to have a building as per the guidelines of CPCACA. CPCACA means this is a one organization which supervises the experimentation and also rearing of the experimentation. So for which you have to register establishment as per the guidelines. So first you have to make a building as per the guidelines, stating that how much stock you're going to maintain. In that also there are two options. One is in-house breeding and also sale purpose. Means your objective of guinea pig farming is for the in-house breeding and for the sale purpose, for which you have to apply to the CPCSA by paying 20,000 rupees. They will inspect you, and if you are abiding all the rules and regulation, then they'll sanction you the license for the 5 years. Subsequently, we can continue.
Is there any training that I can get to learn in producing livestock feed, sir? Someone is asking.
Livestock field, madam, feed.
Livestock feeds ke liye, is there any training so that they can learn more?
Yes, a number of places it is being given, but you have to see that in the feed, whether it is for the silage preparation or for the haylage preparation or for the total mixed ration. Okay, which one? See, in KVK, if you go to Krishi Vigyan Kendra, every KVK, they give training for the silage preparation in the small scale. Okay, the same thing is also applicable for the commercial scale. But if you need very specific like preparation of compressed feed block, total mixed ration, urea mineral mixture block, then you have to give what you can say contact with the nearest universities. Suppose if you are from the any nearby institute, even at IVR also it is possible. Even at IVR also you can get the training, very field specific training also, either from the headquarters. So we can give the link.
And one more thing is best goat breed for North Karnataka region.
North Karnataka region. So as I told you, there is no, I will not particularly I will not recommend any standard breeds. Okay, at least for the what you can say normal purpose. But if you have a very specific interest, then you can go for any standard breeds. Otherwise, in for like North Karnataka means it's a Bidar belt. Osmanabadi is already famous in that place. So if you are able to rear Osmanabadi, that is also equivalent. Otherwise, Siroi I strongly recommend for the meat. If it's for the milk, then Jamnapari I recommend.
So any other questions? And the people who are willing to have information related to any trainings being conducted at IVRA or any other in specific information required from sir, means we have given all the contact details. You can just get in touch with sir with the email, so that at his free time sir can just view your queries and get back to you. Rather than calling on mobile, you please contact through email.
I strongly recommend to visit our IVRA website also. We do have a same under the Rafta scheme and the incubation center. So in addition, very specific what you can say activities required, you can contact the in charge also. Otherwise, for the routine training activities, we have already linked in the KVK corner, or you can say giant extension corner also. But if you think that you cannot explore through website because too much information will be there in the website, if you really need a very specific activity and specific program in a particular month or a particular year, please let me through WhatsApp or you can say email. Then I'll explore and I'll accordingly I'll respond.
And one more thing is the procedure to establish sheep and goat rearing unit, and how much would it cost, sir? Someone is asking.
Actually, this is a very what you can say elaborative activity, but still to say that for goat farming or sheep farming, so minimum commercial farming, if I say at least 50 goats or 50 sheep is ideal. But in the larger scale, if you think it is a 100 goat or 100 sheep, it is okay, strongly recommended. Okay. As far as budget is concerned, so it is a very conditional. So suppose if you say that I have this, sir. So only I have to establish this, then I can work out and I can tell you. Otherwise, the value seems to be very high. If I say that it involves like 50 lakhs, then you will be a little worried. Okay, how can possible to invest 50 lakhs, which is not possible. So that's why always it's depend upon your backup and background. What are the things you can spare? Based on that, we can tell that what could be the total amount you have to incur for establishing a goat worth of 50 goats or 100 goats.
Best goat breed to go for in Maharashtra state, sir, for commercial purpose.
As I told you, madam, already there was a question from the North Karnataka. For meat purpose means I strongly recommend Siroi.
Is there any difference between Gir ghee and Sahiwal ghee? Someone is asking, sir.
There is no much difference. If you ask me, I'll say that it's one and the same. There is no much difference because quality of the dahi will not change from breed to breed. Only thing is that if you say indigenous breeds, by and large, they are same only. So that's why the constituent will remain same. Only there will be difference between HF ghee and buffalo ghee and Sahiwal ghee. But between Sahiwal and Gir, there will not be any much difference.
You're not audible, Ashwik. And many of them are requesting for the PPT of this lecture, sir. So
Yeah,
that
sure,
we can
sure.
have as reference. Yeah.
It's a big file. I'll make it part-wise and compressed file. I'll share to you, Madam
Yes.
Ashwik, so you can share with the needy people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. There is one more question from the YouTube live, sir. Goat milk is useful for preparing homeopathic pills. Provide guidance for startups. How to go ahead, sir? How to go forward?
As such, goat milk is not used or useful in preparation of homeopathic pills actually. But like when you homeopathic use, there are three types of material generally available. Either it comes in the form of tincture or it comes in the form of powder. Okay. So, or sometimes it is a mixed one. So what happens when you homeopathic drugs are used, generally we recommend that 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after nothing should be taken. Okay. In order to encourage the absorption or to avoid the quality of the pills. But in case of goat milk, we all know that the composition of the goat milk because of small fat globules, which are completely all among other species. Okay, the size of the fat globules is very, very small. Okay, so due to which the absorption is maximum in the stomach. Okay, ultimately the homeopathic quantity is given in a very small quantity, very, very diluted form. When it is taken along with the milk, it helps in the absorption of the homeopathic drug. So that's why homeopathic milk is, the goat milk is recommended along with the milk, but not for as it is preparation of the homeopathy drug. Yes, of course, goat milk is strongly recommended in dengue patient. There is no doubt about it. It's well proven.
Someone is requesting to have this session in Hindi as well, sir, Hindi language.
मुझे पता होता हिंदी लोग भी है तो बीच-बीच में हिंदी भी यूज करता मुझे आइडिया नहीं था I thought that everyone
because
is from,
we have like all the people like who can understand only Telugu, who can understand only Hindi.
Okay,
so that is
then I would have used
heterogeneous
mixed language because the topic was too lengthy. Using two language also it's difficult because it further takes time actually. So I used maximum in English only. But I think PPT will certainly help even Hindi people also.
And anything else? Anyone want to have discussion? You can unmute. You can If there are no further questions, we can wind up the session. Anything else? I think everything is pretty much clear to all of them, sir. You have covered each and every topic. Now I'd like to take the privilege of proposing my vote of thanks. Firstly, a very good afternoon to each and everyone. We are very much delighted to have you all in this national webinar on entrepreneurial opportunities in livestock sector. Firstly, we'd like to thank our chief guest for today's national webinar, Dr. R. Sharada Jayalakshmi ma'am, Honorable Vice Chancellor of ANGRAU, and guest of honor, Dr. L. Prashanthi ma'am, Director of Research, ANGRAU, for the extended support in all our efforts and moves. Also, we'd like to thank Chairman for today's national webinar, Dr. C. Ramana sir, Associate Director of Research, Regional Agricultural Research Station, Tirupati, for the encouragement in organizing webinars like this. ANGRAU Poshan Incubator would also like to thank our today's guest speaker, Dr. B.H.M. Patel sir, for accepting our request to deliver a lecture in this national webinar. Sir, we thank you so much for the wonderful session and enlightening audience on the entrepreneurial opportunities available in livestock sector, and also with all the important aspects like the considerations for investment details, types of animals and conditions to be maintained, and all the financial assistance being provided by Government of India, which is a very helpful for all the people who are thinking in the lines of starting a new venture, sir. We thank you so much for the wonderful session. We also would like to thank all the scientists and dignitaries who has participated from ANGRAU in this national webinar. Finally, we'd like to thank all the participants for making and witnessing this webinar a huge event. We'd like to continue this association with all of you in the upcoming webinars and events of the ANGRAU Poshan Incubator. We also would like to request all of you to fill in the feedback form so that we can be able to facilitate the participation certificates to all of you. And we'd like to see all of you once again. With this, we conclude and call it a day. This is Lakshmi Tulasi signing off from ANGRAU Poshan Incubator. Jai Hind. Thank you so much.
Madam, I also thank you, madam. I also
Thank you,
thank you for PI, Dr. Balasar, for introducing me this ANGRAU Poshan Incubator. And also I thank Ashwik, who also introduced to this new incubation center. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.